Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all well. Yeah. So it's Wednesday. It's meant to be a work day. And as you can tell, I'm not. And probably by the title of this video, you can quite clearly tell what's going on. So yeah, I've got COVID. It finally hit me. I took a test this morning and it's come back positive. I'm just waiting for some more to obviously clarify, if that makes sense, and do a PCR test, as we all know that lateral flows aren't exactly the most reliable. So I'm just waiting for some more lateral flow tests. But at the minute, I'm off work, in bed, watching Foreigner bed, with junk food, with cups of teas, and with some water and things, and just trying to get better. Luckily, I actually don't feel too bad. I've just got a banging headache and just feel like I've got a cold. But yeah, that's what's going on. That's why you should look at the state of me and be like, what on earth do you look like? But yeah, I really hope it is like a false positive, because, you know, it's Mother's Day coming up, and obviously, luckily today the kids are at nursery, but tomorrow they're not, and I don't exactly want to give it to the kids, but at the same time I've got nobody to look after the kids, and I don't think Kieran can have the day off work either, because I don't think he's got any holiday left. He's only got half a day left. So that's the problem we've got as well. So no matter what, like tomorrow I'm gonna have to look after the kids. So I'm hoping it's just a cold, and the test has come back like false positive. I'm also meant to be going to the Thank you. I'm also meant to be going to the gym with my friend as well on Friday, and I've not been since we've moved. So I've not been in like over a month with her. So yeah, I don't want it to be COVID, because like I said, it's Mother's Day this weekend. I was meant to be going to the gym with my friend, and just everything basically. I don't really know. But like I say, I'm just sat here binge watching Foreigner bed. But I thought I'd pick up my camera because it's something to look at, like look back on, isn't it? Like some quarantine diaries and things. I also thought it'd be a great opportunity to actually speak about mine and Kieran's Belfast trip, and to insert the clips as well, from that. Because like I say, I didn't actually film anything. I filmed the flight, like there and back, and a few like little montagey bits, but I was that cold. Yeah, as I was saying, it was that cold, and we were just enjoying each other's company, that I literally just didn't get anything out to film. So I can talk to you about that as well, I guess, today. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well, and none of you have got COVID, but if you have, then at least we can watch COVID together, no? At least we can battle COVID together. The best thing about my bedroom right now, though, is that I've got my windows open. I'm looking out at the field and I'm watching the jets land. Like, it's perfect. Let me just pan you around quickly. So I don't know if you're actually going to be able to see, but there's one coming in the distance. Let me just get out of bed and show you, maybe. Let me just take it off charge. See if I can make it in time. But like, this is what I'm doing. I'm sat in bed whilst watching the jets go by. It's honestly amazing. It's so sunny today as well. This is what I'm doing. I'm just sat watching them. I'm gonna open the windows and I think let a little bit of fresh air in. It's meant to be like 18 degrees today, and I can't believe I'm stuck inside at 18 degrees. Might even go sit outside in the afternoon. Might be nice. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. Just sat in bed watching them land and take off. It's bliss. It's honestly so relaxing. And I could just sit here all day watching this. My window now, so you're probably going to get a lot of road traffic noise coming, and more possibly the jets. It depends. As I've just said. But yeah, like I say, I'm sat watching the jets with my curtains wide open, binge watching Foreigner bed with crappy food, because what else can you do? So yeah, I'm gonna just sit and relax quickly, and then I'll probably go get myself another drink, and then I will talk to you about Belfast in a little while. Because yeah, I honestly just, I'm so tired. I went to bed at about 10 and woke up at 7. So I went to sleep at 10, sorry, and woke up at 7, and I literally just felt like crap. Luckily, I've still got my taste in things. The thing that made me test was because I've got a massive headache, and I never get a headache with a cold. So yeah, like I say, this is my life at the minute, and welcome to quarantine day 1. So I thought now that I've had a bit of rest and stuff, I'll talk about Belfast quickly. I've just finished watching a few more episodes of 4 in a bed because, you know, I'm an old git and it's what I do when I'm poorly. So yeah, basically I'll start with like the preparation of what we had to do in terms to COVID and stuff. So basically, because we were going to basically like part of the United Kingdom, we didn't have to do any lateral flow tests. We didn't have to do a like a locator form, and we didn't basically have to do any of that stuff. We literally just had to, you know, wear a mask on the plane and just give our boarding passes and stuff. Like, they didn't even check any ID or anything. Like, they didn't even check our driving licenses or passports or anything. It was simply just like getting on a bus and giving a bus ticket. It was rather bizarre, actually. And then once we were in Ireland again, we didn't have to wear masks. They were completely fine. The only time we had to wear a mask was when we was on the plane. Other than that, no planes, no masks on transport and things, no masks while we're out and about or in areas and stuff. So yeah, literally the COVID restrictions for Belfast were so easy. It was like as if I was just going on holiday when I was like back in 2019, when nothing of COVID was all about. So yeah, in terms of that, it was so bloody easy. And I was so glad as well. Of course, it saved us money, and we didn't have to obviously get like £30 lateral flow test each. So yeah, in that sense, it was extremely easy and really well done. So yeah, we flew from Manchester Airport. We flew with EasyJet. It cost us £25 each way, so about £50 each. I didn't put any like extra bits on or anything, so we didn't have any extra leg room because it was like literally like a half an hour flight. We didn't have any luggage with us. The only luggage that we took was some rucksacks, so we didn't even do like a small cabin bag or a suitcase or anything. So I simply just paid for the seats and then selected our seats, which was £2.99 each there, and then £2.99 each on the way back, so £6 each again basically. So my flights cost about £90 for me and Kieran, because we didn't need any food while we were on the plane, because it was literally like I say a half an hour flight, so they weren't serving food anyway. The only thing that they were serving were hot drinks, but we just got bottles of water or pop from the airport because it was easier. So yeah, we had a like afternoon flight. We had a 1 o'clock flight because we wanted to get there like not too early, but obviously earliest to enjoy the rest of the day. We then got a bus from the airport, which cost £25 for the both of us, which obviously took us to the centre of Belfast and obviously took us back to the airport on our last day. It didn't matter what day you were returning, it was £25 regardless. So yeah, that's that. It was probably about a 45-minute bus journey from the airport, maybe half an hour. So that was really easy. And then obviously we looked on the map from where our hotel was to where the bus dropped us off, and it seemed as though it was in walking distance. It really wasn't. It took me and Kieran an hour to get to the hotel where we were staying. Excuse me. Which we stayed in, which was called 9 King Court House, and it was £96 for the both of us for 2 nights. It was simply just a room. It was like a bedroom with an ensuite, with like tea and coffee facilities, and that was literally it. There was nowhere to have breakfast. Like, it wasn't a B&B or anything. It was simply just a bedroom. That's what you got with an ensuite. I've got clips of the bedroom, so I will insert that, to like this one and things. Like I said, I'll insert all of the little montages I've done anyway. So yeah, it was really nice. Everything was pretty much from IKEA. It was a really nice clean room. It was excellent for the price that we paid. It was quite out of the way, so you did have to get buses, but the bus was like £2 each, like no matter where you were going. And then we just got a day rider, which meant we could hop on and off the buses as many times as we wanted, as well as the gliders for £4 each, which we literally used. We spent like £4 in like 2 journeys, I think it was, because we took the bus to the city centre to then hop on a glider to elsewhere where we needed to go. So simply like within an hour we used the price of the bus anyway. So that was really good value for money, and they run really early to really late as well. So that was a good value as well. We just went on the Translink website, which told us like where the buses would pick you up from and what time they were and stuff. So yeah. So the first day that we got there, we obviously got off the plane and things and went to the city centre and then walked to the B&B. I've just called it B&B, no, it's not B&B, like the hotel thing. Obviously we just took our shoes off for a little bit and had a bit of a wander around the room to obviously have a look around it as you do, and then we just sat down for about 20 minutes just to rest our feet. We then decided that we wanted to go out for something to eat. Obviously we went on a budget, so we know that because we're technically still in the same country technically, but we're not in the same country, we knew that there'd be things like Wetherspoons and stuff. So I said to Kieran, I said, right, we'll just go to Wetherspoons. I was like, it really doesn't matter, as long as we're fed. It doesn't matter whether we have something Irish or whether we have something that we know. I was like, as long as we're fed, it really doesn't matter. Plus we can go to Wetherspoons, get a alcoholic drink and a meal for like £12. So that was the plan. So we googled where there was a Wetherspoons and then went there at around 6:30, 7 o'clock. We went to Wetherspoons and we soon came back out of Wetherspoons as it was very, very, very busy. And when I say busy, I literally mean busy. It was like a club more than a like a normal Wetherspoons restaurant, you think. It was just packed. So luckily across the road was a Nando's. So the first night we had a Nando's, just a normal Nando's. Cost us £35 with my blue light discount card, and we had like some sharing things between us so we could try different things. So yeah, that's what we did. We then had a walk around to find a bar, but we couldn't find any that wasn't packed, as it was all absolutely rammed. So we just wandered around, saw the scenery, looked for a Tesco's to get some money out and to get some munchies for in the room, and we just headed back to the room because we were so tired, our legs were hurting, and we just wanted a good night's sleep. So we hopped back onto the bus to go back to the room. So yeah, the second day when we got back to the room, I googled some free things that we could do, just because the Titanic Museum wasn't actually booked until the Sunday. So again, I wanted to do things on a budget and see if there was any free things to do before obviously having to pay for anything. And believe it or not, there were quite a few free things to do. So on Saturday morning we got up and we got the bus and then got the glider and went over to like the Titanic quarters, where we went for a coffee in the most beautiful little coffee shop ever. It was actually free. Like, you could have whatever tea, cake or coffee that you would like, and it was free. You had to literally just pay a donation of what you wanted, so you could literally just walk out and not pay anything, or you could have paid something up to like £20-30. It was completely up to you. Obviously we put a donation, and I think we put about £5 in, just because we wanted to. That's obviously how it kept it running. But it was lovely. There was like a steel thing of the Titanic, and there was like loads of prints of the Titanic and stuff like what you could buy. It was honestly really nice and it was lovely, but the tea that I had wasn't nice. I wish I had a different tea. I had an Earl's Grey Blue Bell tea, and it literally tasted as though I just got a bluebell off of the floor and just put it in my mouth. I wasn't too keen on that. So in a sense, it kind of was a good thing it was free, because otherwise I'd have had to have paid for a drink that I didn't like. And then I had a excuse me, Blondie Biscoff, and that was really good. Kieran had like a massive coconut thing, and he had a Thai tea. He didn't have a Thai tea latte, he just had a Thai tea. So yeah, we went there, and then we took a little walk round to where the docking of Titanic and the Olympia was. Olympic, I think it is, even not the Olympia. The Olympic was, of where they got built and things. So we read up on the information about that and stuff. And this was literally right next to the Titanic Museum. But like I say, we weren't booked until Sunday for that. So yeah, we had a wander around there, and then we got back onto the bus and went to what was called the Ulster Museum, which was a free museum which literally just showed you everything and anything. It was almost like a history museum, but not a history museum, if that makes sense. It was just a museum on everything, like art, Egypt, and like mummies and stuff, and cars, and the Antarctic, and like the Stone Age and things. But I did feel really old at one point, because there was a floppy disk behind a piece of glass. Like, you just don't expect to see floppy disks behind a piece of glass now, do you? But apparently they are, because they're that old now. Believe it or not, there was even a whole section of COVID on there. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice to walk around and to see things, and just read up about things. This was also located in the Botanic Gardens, which was a big green that you just walk around and stuff. So yeah, we did that, and then we got back on the bus, and we then decided to go for an early dinner. So we thought, right, we'll go back to Wetherspoons to see how busy it was. This was about 4:30, and oh my gosh, it was rammed still, absolutely rammed. Like, I said to Kira, I was like, is this place like shut? Like, does anyone actually go home, or is it constantly this busy? So obviously that was that idea scrapped. So we said that we'd go up to the shopping centre and go to a food court and see what was there. You had things like a Frankie's and Benny's, a Pizza Express, and obviously other foodie bits and another Nando's and stuff. And I said to Kieran, I was like, I don't know if I actually fancy any of this. It was quite pricey. Believe it, like Frankie's and Benny's, I find it's quite pricey and stuff. And I didn't fancy Pizza Express or anything, and I most certainly didn't fancy another Nando's. So I said to Kieran, I said, right, what we'll do is that we'll wander around. It's only technically 4:30, so it's not actually like dinner time as such. I just thought we'd go eat earlier because we might get a better chance of actually having somewhere to eat. So we walked around a little bit, and we found a quaint little pub, and it was called the Rose Crown Saloon, I do believe. And it was lovely. At one point was like the back end was like the bar and stuff. Then upstairs was like the restaurant. That actually cost us the same price as what the Nando's did, so it only cost me about £35. I had a chicken club sandwich, and Kieran had a Irish steak and ale pie with a pint of Guinness, and I had a Diet Coke. So that was really, really lovely. We just stayed in there for a little bit and chilled. And then I said to Kieran, I said, like, oh, is there actually anything that you'd like to do? And he went, oh, no, not really. So I said to Kieran, I said, right, so shall we just go get a packet of cards, like go to Poundland or something, go get a pack of cards, a few munchies and a couple of drinks, and take them back to the room, and we'll just go play cards and watch a film, or watch Anecdote Saturday Night Takeaway, because the TV had Netflix and stuff. And he went, yeah, he was like, yeah, that'd be a good idea, because like I said, it was really cold, and we knew that obviously the rugby was going to be on, and we didn't really want to step on anyone's toes, if that makes sense. And believe it or not, we felt quite uncomfortable. So yeah, we just went back to the room, got a packet of cards, and just chilled for the night, and just literally just enjoyed being able to chill again, have each other's company, just talk about random stuff, and it was just honestly perfect. Like, we didn't feel like we had to be out all day spending money to enjoy ourselves. Like, even just playing a game of bloody Go Fish or whatever we played, and just chilling, sitting watching telly was just perfect. And obviously we had a really long day ahead of us on Sunday. So that was literally it. We just got back to the room at about 8 o'clock, I think it was, sat and watched Saturday Night Takeaway, played cards, and we both just flopped because we were so tired. And then Sunday we woke up at about 8 o'clock. I set an alarm because we had our Titanic Museum exhibition, which opens at 10. So we got up, got ready, and we just went down there. We grabbed a coffee and things from the spa shop and then went over and got our tickets. Now, this is the main reason why we went over here, was to go to the Titanic Museum. Kieran wants to also go back to Dublin and go to the Guinness factory, and obviously I wanted to go to Ireland, to go to Belfast for the Titanic Museum. And to say this is the purpose of us going over, I was never more disappointed. I've never been more disappointed, in my life on something. Like, it was just so gutting. When you've waited to go somewhere that you've wanted to go to for absolutely ages and you find out it was absolute dire, it's really like heartbreaking. So we got there. It also gave us it obviously let us go around the museum and stuff, but it also gave us access to go onto the Nomadic, which is the White Star's still only sailing ship. If you call it their still sailing ship, it can still sail. Basically, it's the one that's still actually with us today. We can see it, we can walk on it, it's still in its glorified thing. So yeah, obviously we went into the museum first. We went into a bit which was all about like how they're making linen and how they made cotton and how different like pieces of materials were made, and I'm thinking, okay, what's this got to do with the Titanic? And then obviously it was then telling us how one of the like linen makers was on the Titanic aboard it and things, and then it then started going on about like history and stuff. Like, there was so much that was nothing to do with the Titanic. I was just going to Kieran like, have we come to the right place? Because I can't read anything about the Titanic yet. We then obviously got through to a bit more of it, which then started to be about the Titanic. You went through the big eye gates of H&W. Excuse me, I can't stop yawning. Yeah, we went through the big iron gates of H&W and we walked through, and then obviously we went to like the drawing boards and stuff, like the design and things of Titanic, and where they all sat to design Titanic and how it was being built, this, that and the other, things about Thomas Andrews and Ismay and things. So yeah, we then talked about that, and then it then showed us a bit about obviously like the steel workers and how much they didn't actually get paid. Like, they literally got paid like nothing. Sometimes they did it for free and stuff. So yeah, halfway through we then went, like when we got through, and then I went on like a lift that took us up a few floors, and then there was a ride which was like, you just sat in like a little thing. I mean, if you've ever been to Disney and you've been on the Flight of Neverland, you'll know what I'm on about. It's like a thing that lifts you up, so it makes you, obviously it looks like you're flying. Just give me 2 seconds. But if you haven't, then basically you're sat in like a little gondola thing. It lifts you up and it goes down, so you can read and watch the videos. And it was basically about a steel worker on like obviously building the Titanic and like the coal and stuff. So yeah, there was all of that, which was fine. But I didn't want to ride in a museum, I'm not gonna lie. We then went to another bit which was then about like the launch day of the Titanic and then the Olympic, which this was the bit that overlooked their like stations of where they got built and stuff. So yeah, it was just mad. But like obviously like it was like the launch day wasn't obviously the launch day, it was like a launch day like a year before the proper launch day. So yeah, and then we walked through a bit more, and what else was there? I'm trying to remember. Oh, and then it showed you like first, second and third class suites, which wasn't an actual suite, it was just a replica. And then on one of them it actually said that this is the second class suite, that although the musicians were given third class suites, one of the violinists was given a second class suite due to I think it was because he had that ticket or something, or his like owner, like the business owner of the band or something, gave him a second class suite or something. And it said in there that there was his violin, like to the right. And me and Kira were trying to look for this violin that had clearly been bought up from the Titanic. And there was no violin in there. I was like to Kira, I went, well, that's a bit gutted. I was like, why does it say here that this is where his violin is and it's to your right and you can't see it? But anyway. So yeah, it shows you first, second and third class of like a replica. It then went through like to another bit, and we like went into like this like corner of a room sort of thing. It's about the size of my bedroom where you stood, and then it was like a movie sort of thing where it showed you all around. So it felt like you were stood on the Titanic going on a lift, showing you the different decks and things. So that was that. Then showed you like the different wood and materials and stuff like was on the Titanic. And then went through to another bit which showed you all of the movies and things that obviously got made into, such as A Night to Remember, obviously Titanic in 1997 from James Cameron, and all the music and this, that and the other. And then we got to a bit that said debris. I said to Kira, I was like, oh, here we go. Like, this is the bit that I've literally been waiting for. Things that have been brought up from the Titanic. We went in, and you sat in like this little movie room area. And like on the start of the Titanic, the film, obviously you've got them in there, things in the water. I don't know what you call them. It's a little submarine thing with the cameras on, like showing you like where they can see the Titanic and stuff, and going around and exploring it. We watched a little clip from someone doing that. And I went down to and followed the debris sign. There was no debris. Absolutely nothing. There was no thing that had been brought up to the surface. There was no life jackets. There was no shoes. There wasn't any like mirrors or even any rocks or paper or like nothing. The only thing that was really, which was properly like replica of things, was just like letters that were written beforehand. But in terms of the Titanic and what happened and everything down at the bottom of the ocean, there was nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was absolutely gutted. Obviously we walked through, after that bit we went through to another bit which was then like interviews from survivors, which was their genuine voices, and then little bits on the board with the survivors and stuff. That bit was really sad. Like, that bit did kind of hit me in the heart a little bit. But I was just generally so disappointed with it. It was just something that I could have read out of a textbook. It's something that I've read out of textbooks. I went there in full hope of seeing pictures and debris and things of obviously the traumatic time, because I know there is debris and I do know that there is things that has been brought up from there. But turns out it is not in this museum. This museum is more to the fact of, because this is where the Titanic got made, it's basically was just the museum telling you how she got made because of where Belfast was, where she was built, basically. So it was just genuinely so disappointing, because yes, it's where she got built. So because that is where she got built, you'd have thought that this was going to be the main one. This was going to be where everything got brought back, because technically everything that from that ship is from Ireland and from Belfast and from that area. But no, it wasn't. It was crap. Like I said, I've got some pictures and some things to show you, and I'll put them in there and I'll insert them in and stuff. But I was just gutted. Honestly, so gutted. And so I saved it for the last day because what I wanted to do the most. I thought, well, I would save the best thing till last. I generally wish I did something else on the Sunday to have got over it, which is quite, like I say, upsetting. So yeah, that's that. The gift shop wasn't overly expensive, to be honest with you. I got a magnet for us from the fridge, and I got the kids like a little rubber ducky that said Titanic on it. I think it cost like a tenner, if that, maybe £8, I think. I'm just gonna round up to a tenner. And that's all I got basically from there. So yeah, we then just came out of there, went back to the dock and stuff where we went the other day, and then went back up, then went onto the Normandic. The Normandic, believe it or not, was like probably the best bit about it, because obviously you got to go on the boat, and there was generally still stuff on there that was on there back in the likes of 1912, when obviously it took passengers to the Titanic in the middle of the ocean. So yeah, we saw that. We saw the first class little area there and the second class area there. We went up and went on like the deck and stuff. We went into like what would have been like the boiler room, and we went into like a suite and stuff. Like, it was genuinely like really good, that bit was. And like I say, it was nice to actually go onto the boat and be able to see things that were still there from ages ago. So yeah, that bit was okay. So yeah, we was very highly disappointed with it. Both me and Kieran were. So anyway, we then obviously came back from there and then went back into the city centre and went to Hotel Chocolat to go get a hot chocolate, which was disgusting. I've never had a more disgusting hot chocolate in my life. It was so disgusting. It was so sickly. But you know, it was nice, just very sickly. That made it disgusting. So obviously while we were there, we were then obviously searching up where we could go for something to eat. Obviously we had to have an early dinner because of obviously then catching the flight back home. So we just googled things and didn't find anything. So I went to Kira, I was like, oh, if you go over there, I was like, oh, opposite here there's like a little cafe thing. I was like, I'll Google it. So it was it gave me very rustic beach vibes, but also like a workshop vibe, if that makes sense. I don't really know how that goes together, but it does. But yeah, it was very reasonably priced. I think it cost us about £30, and Kieran had a full English breakfast, full Irish breakfast, sorry. And I had some like chicken goujons and some really nice chips, and like some coleslaw and stuff, and then we had a hot drink and then cold drink and stuff as well with it. So yeah, we just went there. I think we went there about 4:30, I think it was. So then we thought there was not really much else to do, so we'll make our way back to the bus station to where we'd have to catch the bus. And then we went, oh no, tell a lie, we went into a little shop well, I say a shop, it was basically the visitor information desk, which obviously was a big shop as well, which obviously had bits on the Titanic and had bits on Guinness and just Irish merchandise and stuff. So I said, oh, we'll go in here and see what we can grab the kids as a little something, because obviously we've got them the little rubber ducky, but we also need to get them something else as well. So we just got them a little Irish sheep. So yeah, we came out of there and then went to the bus station, which was like probably about a 20-minute walk from where we were. And then on the way, we noticed that there was called a celebrity tree trail, which basically celebrities had planted this tree. So we saw one done by Eden Holmes, Cliff Richard. Who else was there? I can't remember, but I've took some pictures of them as well. So before we got on the bus, we ended up watching them as well. Going to the bus station, sorry. We followed that as well to see who had planted some trees in Ireland. So we got to the bus station to check the bus times back to the airport, and found out it wasn't going to be for like another couple of hours. So we went to Cafe Nero and just sat and had a couple of hot chocolates and just sat and talked, reflected our time back, and things like that, and just, yeah, basically just watched everything back and looked at everything back and chin wags and things, and if we'd come back, and if we did come back, what else would we do, and this, that and the other. So we then got on the bus and went back to the airport, which was like I said, another half an hour to 45-minute drive. Got to the airport. I mean, because we didn't have, I forgot to say this on the first bit as well, because we didn't have any luggage, and I checked it online, all we had to do was go straight through security. So basically, yeah, we were pretty much in and out of security, both ends, within about 20 minutes. And then, yeah. Oh, and that's another thing that I completely forgot to say as well. When we were going there, we looked on the gate, like on the information board, to see what gate we needed to be at. And obviously it said, oh, gate information at, I think it was 12 or 20 past 12. So I said to Kira, oh, gate information isn't up till 20 past 12. So we went to go grab a Burger King. I looked at my watch, like, it was 20 past 12, so the gate information will be up. I looked, and it went, now boarding. I went, how do you go from no gate information to now boarding at this gate? So it's literally, luckily we only got like Burger King to get on the flight with. We pegged it to the freaking gate with our Burger King. So yeah. And then on the way back, obviously, again, the gate information wasn't on because we got there early and things. So we went round duty free and grabbed a bite to eat, and well, not a bite to eat, just got like a snack and stuff, and then I got a drink, and then I sat and rang my dad and things, and then got on the plane, and then obviously came home. So yeah, it's about a 40-minute flight on the way home, which wasn't too bad. A bit bumpy, but I also really needed the toilet as well, but the person sat next to Kieran was asleep, and so I was sat in the window. Obviously, I didn't want to wake him up, so I sort of just held it in for the whole flight instead. And then obviously I had my journey back home. So yeah. But yeah. We said that we probably wouldn't go back to Belfast. We probably will go back to Ireland. We'll probably just go to Dublin so Kieran can obviously do the Guinness factory. But Dublin Belfast to me, I mean, I don't know how different Dublin would be, but Belfast was very much to me like Nottingham. I felt like I could have just gone to Nottingham for the weekend, or maybe even Liverpool and then gone to Liverpool and looked at a Titanic exhibition in Liverpool or something and saved the hassle of going on a flight and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, me and Kieran had a really nice time, it just being me and him and things, but the purposes of what we went over for, we were just extremely, extremely disappointed. Like, I understand that we were still in the United Kingdom, so everything was still very much the same, but I didn't expect it to be so Nottingham-fied. I expected it to just look 10 times different, and it didn't. But yeah, it was really nice to just get away from me and Kieran, but I won't be in no rush back to go back. I won't be in no rush back to go back to Belfast. So yeah, but I'm glad I did it. I don't have any regrets of doing it because I now know. So yeah, but we've got Haven to look forward to with the kids, and I can't wait for that one. So yeah, but like I say, I'll put like a little montage in now of all the clips that I did take a picture of and videos of. But yeah, this is my whole overview of Belfast. We had a really nice time, but we just wouldn't rush to go back. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'm going to love and leave you. I hope you all have a nice day, and I'm going to just chill, try and get myself better. I've perked up a little bit now that I've opened the window and stuff and had a bit of a wander around the house. But yeah, I'm going to go chill, and I hope to see you all soon with a brand new video, maybe quarantine day 2, depends what this other test result says. And I will see you all soon with another video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Bye guys!